I paid for my boyfriend's medical school. Then he married my cousin. When Daniel met me, he had nothing. No car. No apartment. No money for tuition. Just dreams. And me. I worked double shifts at a restaurant for 3 years so he could stay in medical school. I skipped birthdays, sold my jewelry, and even lied to my mother when she asked why I kept borrowing money. Love is sacrifice, I told her. Daniel used to hold my hands at night and whisper, when I become a doctor, I'll give you the world. I believed him. Every single word. Then one evening, after finishing a 14-hour shift, I opened Instagram and saw a photo that stopped my heart. Daniel, in a tuxedo, smiling. Beside him was my cousin Vanessa, wearing a white wedding dress. My hands started shaking. At first I thought it was a joke, until I read the caption. Finally married the love of my life. I couldn't breathe. 3 years. 3 years of suffering for a man who was secretly planning a wedding with someone else. And the worst part? My entire family knew. Even my mother. I stared at my phone while missed calls from Daniel flooded my screen. Then a message came in from Vanessa. You were never his type. You were just convenient. That night, I cried until sunrise. But by morning, I stopped crying. Because nobody at that wedding knew one thing. Daniel's medical license was built on a lie only I could expose. The morning after Daniel's wedding, I sat in my tiny apartment staring at the ceiling. No tears left. Just silence. 3 years of my life gone. 3 years of sacrificing everything for a man who looked me in the eyes every night and lied without guilt. My phone kept buzzing nonstop. Daniel calling. Vanessa calling. Even my mother. I ignored all of them. But then, a message appeared from an unknown number. Miss Ava Carter? This is Mr. Lawrence's office. He would like to meet you regarding your late grandfather's estate. I frowned. My grandfather? Impossible. My grandfather died when I was 10. And according to my mother, he left nothing behind except debts. I almost deleted the message. Until another one came. Your family has hidden the truth from you for years. My chest tightened. 2 hours later, I found myself standing inside the tallest building downtown. Everything screamed money. Marble floors. Men in expensive suits. Women walking around with designer bags I'd only seen online. I felt out of place in my worn-out sneakers. Then the receptionist smiled politely. Mr. Laurent is waiting for you, Miss Carter. The moment I stepped into the office, an older man stood up slowly. Gray hair. Sharp suit. Calm eyes. And when he looked at me, he looked emotional. You have your grandfather's face, he whispered. I froze. He handed me a file. Inside were documents, photos, properties, bank accounts. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I thought it was fake. Until he said the words that changed my life forever. Your grandfather owned one of the largest hotel chains in Europe. My legs almost gave out. What? Mr. Laurent sighed heavily. When he died, your mother and aunt fought over the inheritance. Your mother claimed you were too young and convinced the court to place everything under temporary family control. I stared at him in shock. She lied to me my whole life. He nodded slowly. And now that you're 25, the estate legally returns to you. I couldn't breathe. All those nights struggling to survive, while my own family hid my inheritance. Suddenly, everything made sense. The way my mother always favored Vanessa. The way she treated me like a burden. The way she never cared when I exhausted myself working for Daniel. They needed me weak. Easy to control. Mr. Laurent slid another paper toward me. There's more. It was Daniel's employment application. My stomach dropped. The hospital he works for? Mr. Laurent said quietly. You now own the majority shares. Silence. Then, for the first time in 2 days, I smiled. 1 week later, the internet exploded. Photos of Daniel and Vanessa's luxury honeymoon flooded social media. They looked happy, untouchable. Until Daniel got an email requesting an emergency board meeting. He walked into the hospital confidently. And froze. Because I was sitting at the head of the table. In a black dress. Diamond earrings. And beside me sat the hospital executives. Daniel's face lost all color. Ava. Vanessa, standing behind him, nearly dropped her purse. No way. I crossed my legs calmly. Good morning, Dr. Brooks. The room was dead silent. Daniel forced a laugh. Baby, what is this? Baby. The audacity. One executive cleared his throat nervously. Dr. Brooks. Miss Carter is the new majority owner. Daniel's mouth literally fell open. Vanessa looked like she'd seen a ghost. You lied, she whispered to me. I tilted my head. No. My family did. Daniel rushed toward me after the meeting ended. Ava, please, let me explain. Explain what? I snapped. How you used me. Or how you married my cousin while I was paying your tuition. It wasn't like that. Oh, really? My voice shook. Then tell me why my mother attended your wedding before I even knew you were engaged. His silence answered everything. And that broke me more than the betrayal itself. Because once upon a time, I truly loved him. Daniel suddenly dropped to his knees. Right there in the hallway. Doctors and nurses watching. Ava, please, he begged. I made a mistake. Vanessa's face twisted in horror. You're begging her? Daniel ignored her completely. I love you, he said desperately. But I just stared at him. Funny how people discover love. Only after money enters the room. I leaned down slightly. You didn't love me when I was exhausted and struggling. His eyes filled with tears. You chose someone you thought was better. Then I stood up straight. And now you get to live with that choice. I walked away while the entire hallway watched his world collapse. 3 months later, Daniel lost his position after multiple fraud investigations exposed cheating during his residency years. The same cheating I covered for when I was stupidly loyal. Vanessa left him almost immediately. Turns out she only loved the lifestyle. My mother tried apologizing too. But some betrayals cut too deep. I moved into one of my grandfather's penthouses overlooking the city. But strangely, money didn't erase the pain. It only gave me peace. One rainy evening, I visited my grandfather's grave for the first time in years. I wish you had told me the truth sooner, I whispered. A soft voice suddenly came from behind me. He tried to. I turned around sharply. Mr. Laurent stood there holding an umbrella. He wrote letters to you every birthday, he said gently. Your mother hid them. My throat tightened instantly. He handed me a small box. Inside were years of unopened letters. My hands trembled as I opened the first one. To my beautiful granddaughter Ava. If you're reading this someday, I hope life has been kinder to you than your family was to me. I broke down crying right there in the cemetery. Not because of Daniel. Not because of betrayal. But because for the first time in years, I realized I had been loved all along. And maybe that mattered more than revenge ever could.